that we're over, won't die. Ain't nobody check on me, it's just me and my feelings right now.
Hi, I don't really have an intro because I don't know what to say in my intros, and intros for me, I feel like they're very, I don't know, awkward, they're weird. Anyway, I asked people to give me some questions on TikTok. I posted a story on my TikTok and asked people to ask me any question that they would like to ask, and I have about 9 of them, which is thank you to the 9 people. It's not 9 people, but like thank you for the amount of questions. So I have them written down over here. My handwriting is pretty awful right now. I realized that I really need to go back to school. I mean, second semester needs to start as in ASAP because I haven't written anything in 2 weeks, and that's bad. Anyway, let's get to the questions. Number one, do you like socializing? I don't want to say I do not like socializing, but the whole concept of socializing for me is a bit awkward because it's what do you say? What do you say to people, right? And the whole small talk situation, I don't small talk for me is too much. It's too much of a hefty task. I don't like small talk. And people who engage in small talk, what exactly do you say? What do you talk about? I don't care about how the weather was yesterday compared to today. I don't care about that. I don't care about whatever else you have to say to me. Like let's I don't know, break the ice. Let's talk about something interesting, right? Tell me tell me about how someone bit your ass yesterday or last week or something. You understand? Like I don't like small talk. Small talk for me is awkward. And the whole thing of me being out there, and I mean look, the one I don't know, one misconception about me. I feel like I have a couple of misconceptions, but in this case, the misconception about me is the fact that okay, I have TikTok, so I probably talk to a lot of people. I probably don't have a problem with socializing or talking to strangers. I'm shy. If I don't know you, I'm not going to speak to you. And the like 90% of the time, the people I speak to, they were most likely the first person to speak to me. Like they would make the first move. They would say something, and then I would respond because I'm not weird like that. I know that okay, I'm awkward in conversation, but if you would say something, then I would respond. And if I like your energy, then we'll click and become friends if that's what we want for each other. I don't know. With that said, do I like socializing? I'm not a big fan of socializing, but I have to, so I like it, I guess. I don't know. Question number two, what is the most valuable lesson you have learned in life? The most valuable lesson, I would say do not act on raw emotion. I had to learn that the hard way. And who said these beautiful words to me? It was my sister. My sister once said this to me a couple of years ago. She said that one should never act on raw emotion because your judgment is obviously clouded by whatever emotion you're feeling at the moment. And I learned this the hard way. I'll make an example. I was in this very very beautiful relationship. I'm not gonna lie to you. Very I don't know. I was in a relationship, a serious one, right? And then this young woman would hurt me in ways that I didn't enjoy. Actually, who enjoys being hurt? What am I saying? Because I was about to say she hurt me in ways that I didn't enjoy, which is crazy. But she hurt me in ways that I could not have ever imagined. Do you understand what I mean? Like it hurt me to the point where I would get headaches, like a sharp pain in my head, and I'd feel my heart just beat faster. Do you understand? And I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. So I would speak to her about it and everything like that, and constantly getting disappointed or dismissed or whatever. I didn't appreciate that, so I was very very hurt. So then I was like in my pain, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna stand for this. No, I'm sorry. Let's break up, right? And as time went by, I realized that you know what, I should have held on a bit longer, right? Because every relationship has its ups and downs and everything like that. But at the same time, I convinced myself that I was right not to settle for what I got in that relationship at that time. You know, I was right not to settle for it, but at the same time, I should have held on a bit longer and tried to understand what she was going through at the time, right? So, in a way, I was a bit. What's this? I was in my head a lot. I was only thinking about myself and what I was going through and how she made me feel, and I didn't think about how she might be feeling. Do you understand? So I just acted on that emotion because I was like, you know, I was angry, I was hurt. I was like, why are you not listening to me? Why are you not hearing me? Why are you not paying attention to me? Why are you hurting me? So I was like, you know what? No. So now I realize that okay, I should have, sort of taken a step back, yes, and analyze the situation. Think, why are you doing this? Why is it this way? Why am I feeling this way? Why are you what's making you do this? Do you understand? So yeah, I should have stepped back and put my emotions aside and thought about it. Yeah, so I hope that answers that question. Question number three, is it? Yeah. What are your two biggest fears? My biggest fear, I feel like the concept behind fears are just unfair because at some point you will have to face your fear. It's not quite, I don't think it's cool, it's unfair. Fears are unfair. But my first biggest fear is losing my mom. That scares me to the core, but I know it'll happen. And the fact that it will happen scares me even more because what do you mean it has to happen? Can't people live forever? You know, sometimes I wish I could nothing people. You know, if you would nothing people, you wouldn't really feel pain if they left. You wouldn't feel anything. I mean, like, look, if you, I don't know, not shutting down your feelings in a way, but if you nothinged people, just nothing people. I don't know if that makes sense. But anyway, yeah, so losing my mom, I'm afraid of that. What's my other biggest fear? I don't know, just disappointing myself and not reaching my full potential. That I feel like that's another fear of mine. So put my full potential in every aspect of life, being successful career wise and um, romantically, and just being a fully functional human being, just being me, reaching my full. But I don't know if I'm making sense. If I'm not making sense, try to make me make sense. I don't try to make sense of what I'm saying because I can't unjumble what I'm saying. Question number four. What would you say to your 12-year-old self? Little one, you're not gay. You're not. That's not what you are. Yeah, you're into ladies, but you're not lesbian. You're not. You got it all wrong. That's not who you are. You're not a stud. You're not. Get it in your head. You're not. And also, it's okay. I feel like people don't understand how important the words "it's okay" are. You know, I don't think people understand that they mean. I don't think people understand what they do for a person. Do you understand? Like, it's okay. Because when I was 12, I was losing my mind. I was losing my mind. I didn't know what was going on with me. I lost my flow at school. Like, at school, I used to be a high achiever, right? So when I was 12, I kind of lost my flow. I kind of lost myself a bit, and that reflected in my studies and my academics. So I was like, eh. My teachers asked me, what's wrong with you? What's going on? You used to be so bright. Now you're dumb as hell. What's going on? But they didn't say that. But I felt like that's what they said. And I also saw it. I lost my cool. I lost my cool a little bit because of this identity crisis I was facing. So that's why I would say to my 12-year-old self, it's okay. It's okay. You're not lesbian though. Just get that in your mind. But it's okay. It Things will unfold. You'll find yourself because I was rushing to find myself. I was rushing to figure out what is it exactly? What's going on? Because that's the thing about me. Before I move, I need to figure out what's going on here. And even in a relationship, say you and I are dating. We're not. We would never, by the way. Sorry. But like, say you and I are dating, right? And there's something that I'm facing and I really want to talk to you about it, but I won't talk to you about it because it still doesn't make sense in my head. You understand? I want to make sense of it first and then come to you. That's what I do to my therapist too. She's punishing me every time. She doesn't like the fact that I withhold information because I haven't figured it out. That's what therapy is all about. You figure things out with your therapist. She made an example of like a ball of wool, like multicolored wool. Now you go into therapy with that big ball all jumbled up and everything like that, and both of you slowly untangle the thing. Now, what I do, I try to untangle it on my own and show her the colors. Like, look, see, I have blue and red and yellow. What do I do with these colors? You understand what I mean? I really hope you get that the whole picture. Yeah. Question number 5. What are some of the questions that you get as a trans man that ick you out? Um. Okay, so I don't really have questions that ick me out, but it's a matter of how people ask these questions. It's your approach. An approach is very, very important. You can't just say what you want. I mean, yeah, freedom of speech and all that, but come on, it's human decency not to just spew whatever nonsense you want to spew. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. We're gonna wait for the airplane to pass because I don't wanna stop recording. Airplanes are so rude. Where is it anyway? It's supposed to pass somewhere here. I'm supposed to see it. Unless it took a turn. But it doesn't turn here, it turns there. So I'm supposed to see it. Why am I analyzing an airplane? This is so stupid. I feel like, you know what, scientists or whatever, engineers, make airplanes that are not loud. Please. This is rude. This is just rude. No manners at all. Anyway, it's what was I saying? I was talking about an approach though. Yeah, so you can't just I'm trying not to speak as closer right now, but it's close as my mother tongue. I don't care. I don't know vele ukhamisa utyhale man. Usikhamisa utyhale icinge le nto ufuna uyibuza, le nto ufuna uyithetha. But there is a question that really gets to me sometimes, not even sometimes, all the time, when a person asks me, when did you decide to be trans? What do you mean, when did you decide to be trans? It's like I took this decision. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to put myself through all this. I am going to give myself gender dysphoria, right? I'm going to give myself depression. I'm going to give myself anxiety. Why would I want that for myself? Who would want that? Who would want that? Who Okay. Anyway, I did not decide. It's not a matter of deciding. I decided to take my journey, yes, and align myself with who I've always been. Yes, taking the journey was deciding. But it's like asking a gay person, when did you decide to be gay? When did you decide that you liked women? Decide. And as a cis person, when did you decide to be a girl? Or when did you decide to be a boy? When did you decide to be a woman? You don't decide something like that. You understand what I'm trying to say? I think what people are trying to ask, what people are trying to understand when they ask me, when did you decide to be trans, is when did you realize that you were trans? See what I'm saying about an approach, about finding the proper words. When did you realize you were trans? When did you decide that you know what, you're gonna take the first step towards transitioning? That's a proper question, not about decide to be. No, that's crazy. And also the whole situation about asking my down parts. You don't ask that about people. You don't. It's like, look, you don't walk up to a random woman and ask, oh, how big is a coochie? You don't do that. So why would you ask me about my genitals? That's stupid. That's ignorant. That's stupid. That's disrespectful. And don't do it. Don't do it. Kind of, why are you wondering that? Oh, let's talk about that. Actually, I'm gonna cross my leg. Let's analyze that. Why is that so interesting to you? What do you wanna do something? You wanna get down? Unless you want to get down, I don't see why you would ask me about that. Do you understand what I mean? But yeah, I think I've answered that question. Number 6, if one of your kids told you that they want to transition as well, what advice would you give them? Very good question. Good question indeed. In this situation, I'm thinking one of my kids would come up to me and would come out as trans to me, right? And I don't know why, but for some reason I imagine that they don't know that I'm trans as well. Like, look, I'm always going to be trans, obviously. It's a huge part of me, it's a big part of me, but it's not all that I am. It's not, I don't know, because anzohamba ndiyikhwaza loo nto leyo uba, you don't see a pansexual person on something. Yeah, I'm pansexual everywhere they go. Pansexual is me. No. So, yeah, I'm just. Anyway, so I would then have a conversation with my child, telling them how I'm trans as well, and I would ask them to talk to me about how they feel. So immediately, me telling them about me and my experiences, I would hope that they would be comfortable enough to speak to me about how they feel and when they realize this and how they've been feeling for some time. And obviously, I will sort of establish a relationship where my kids feel comfortable enough to share things that they feel like I should know. You understand? Like, I don't want that kind of thing, but oh no, I can't talk to my dad because he's too strict, or I can't talk to my dad because he won't understand. Things like that. So yeah, so then we'd have some kind of this trans relationship with my babies. I don't know, but that's what I imagine, right? That's what I hope for if they're trans. Then after having the whole conversation with them, I would really love it if they took the steps that I took, right? So the first step I took was going to, I was seeing a psychologist, and this is a quick side note for all the trans people who haven't started with their journey. It's very important for you to see a psychologist first. That's what I did. I feel like it's very important, in my opinion. Don't shoot me. In my opinion, I think it's very important. It helps you understand yourself on so many levels. It helps you understand what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're facing, what you're about to face, and just the depth of the whole situation, and just helping you cope with everything around the whole transitioning thing, and just really just helping you cope with everything in your life going on. But obviously, you'd have to find a psychologist that's trans friendly. Not many psychologists out there know about the whole concept of transitioning or just transgenders, right? They don't know about that. So I think it's important for people to find. I was fortunate enough to have people that understood my journey or understood this whole thing. So yes, I would have my child go to a psychologist and obviously take all the other necessary steps and just help them. And I would let my child know that I am there for them. I'm here. Daddy's here. Love you so much. Anyway, so answering the question is not. It's not much of what advice would I give them, rather just support. Letting them know that me too, me too. I was here. I did it. You can do it too. I'll be a role model, actually. You know, yeah. And it would be very interesting just to see the next generation of transgenders. It would be beautiful to see. Next question: has your top surgery healed? Fully healed? It has healed. Do you want to see? Because I just have scars. Do you want to see? No, I'm not gonna show you. It has fully healed though. It took about 3 weeks, 3 weeks max to heal. I took just a bit longer because I had to have another surgery because of my left pec. Like 2 weeks post op, right? On my left pec, I had this fully grown hematoma, which was like just a lot of fluid, so they had to drain it out. So I went for another surgery 2 weeks later. So that took me a bit more time to heal. Otherwise, it really doesn't take long to heal. The pain level on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not painful at all and 10 being excruciating pain, I'd give it a 4. 4 being just a level of uncomfort. What? A level of discomfort, right? It's not comfortable because you have like 2 drains on each side, and the drains just drain out any fluid that's just left in there after the surgery. So things like blood and things like that. So they would just drain out. And what is this word? Every now and then I would have to drain out my blood and then have the thing sort of puff up again and then suck out of the blood. Here's a funny thing: I would feel the thing suck me up. Oh, no. I would feel being sucked. No, man. I would feel the suckage. Hey, I'd feel it though. That's what I'm saying. You understand? So yeah, fully healed. How long did it take? Oh, I answered that question. How long did it take? It took me just over a month. Yeah. Last question. When was the last time you? Okay, this question is kind of like off the whole transgender topic. When was the last time you asked a girl out or approached a girl, and how did it go? The last time I did that was December of 2023. Um, I was so nervous. I was so very nervous. I didn't. Oh my god, I was so nervous. It was December, and it was on Christmas. I remember, and I had a crush on this girl for some time, and I found out that she found me attractive as well. She was interested in me as well. So I was like, you know what? It's now or never. I don't do this. I really don't do. I've never done it, right? So I was like, Ish, what do I say? So then I texted her, and I took my phone aside. You know how you send a risky text and you do just really anything and everything to distract you from the fact that you just sent a risky text. So I kind of distracted myself. I started painting. I don't know if you can see the painting on my wall over there. And I started painting my door because I had just painted my room. I started painting my door. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna distract myself. And I kept talking to my cousin. I remember my cousins from Eastern Cape came over to Cape Town to spend the December holidays. And it was on Christmas, so we were just preparing everything. So she was outside. I don't know what she was doing. I don't know, she was busy though. And I kept talking to her because that's like the dynamic of our relationship. She speaks to me about whatever's going on in her love life, and I would speak to her about mine. She's younger than me, but she's growing up into a young woman, so I do want to gain her trust like that. So I kept telling her about, oh, listen, this is what I did. And then the young woman texted back, and I was like, eh, I can't believe she texted me back. And then we texted back and forth, and I told her, you know what, I'm gonna be offline. Gonna spend Christmas with my family. Merry Christmas to you. Talk to you later. She's like, yeah, sure. Then the following day, my family and I went to the beach, and we were chatting away like the whole time I was at the beach, and I was really really happy. And then came the time that I had to ask her to be my girlfriend. I couldn't get the words out. Now she was watching me. She could see that I'm nervous. And here's the thing about her eyes. She could. She had beautiful eyes, dude. Beautiful eyes. So when she looked at me, I was like, okay, okay, I can do this. I want to be a man, right? I want to be yours. I love what we have over here. And when I finally said, "Will you be my girlfriend?" she said, huh? And I was like, yo, do I have to say it all over again? And I was nervous. She's like, nah, I'm playing. And she said, I would love to be your girlfriend. I was like, oof, fucking hell. I did it. I did it. I got a girlfriend all on my own. I was so happy. I was so happy that she even gave me the chance to, I don't know, be in her space like that, you understand? But yeah, it ended. Still heartbroken, still trying to heal, still trying to find, I don't know, still trying to give myself closure, because what I'm not going to do is go there and try to find closure. No, I'm trying to find closure. I'm trying to understand what went wrong, what I did wrong, what just went wrong. You understand? But the overall experience, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. No, I'd give it like a 20 million out of 10, because the nerves. But yeah, yeah. Now remember when I said I don't do intros? I don't know how to do intros. I don't know how to do outros either. So just pretend I'm doing like a really cool outro right now. Yeah. I hope you I I hope you enjoyed the question asking and whatnot, and I hope that I can do more Q&As. If you want me to have any rants on this thing, I feel like there's a couple of things I want to rant about. But I never want to. Thing is about me ranting, I avoid doing that because I don't want to speak on any controversial things, because I don't want that kind of attention. I don't want that. But should I rant about anything, I will rant about things that are just friendly for everybody, But yeah, I look kind of rough. Hey, I'm gonna get a haircut. I don't know when, but I look kind of rough, and it's fine. I look good though, right? Yeah.